So here's the thing about boundaries. They sound simple, they look simple, they act simple, and then a real human enters the chat and suddenly everything gets messy. I mean, you try to say one tiny no and someone reacts like you just canceled their birthday. It's wild. And like, that's exactly why we need boundaries that actually work. Most people think boundaries are about controlling other people. They're not. They're about controlling yourself. They're about deciding what you will and won't do. They're about choosing how you show up. And well, that's where the magic starts. The real secret is this. Boundaries only work when you enforce them. Not when you announce them, not when you hint at them, not when you whisper them into the void and hope someone picks up the vibe. They work when you follow through. And like, that's the part everyone tries to skip. You can say, I don't answer messages after 8 p.m., but if you reply at 8:03, the boundary is gone. You can say, I can't help you with that project, but if you show up anyway, the boundary dissolves. And well, people learn from what you do, not what you say. Here's the funny part. People will test your boundaries, not because they're evil, not because they're trying to ruin your life. They test them because humans test everything. We poke, we push, we check for weak spots. And like, that's normal, but your job is to stay consistent. Consistency is the secret sauce. It's the whole recipe. It's the entire buffet. You don't need to be loud. You don't need to be dramatic. You don't need to deliver a TED talk every time someone crosses a line. You just need to calmly follow through. And well, that's what makes boundaries real. A lot of people think setting boundaries will make others angry. Sometimes it does, but here's the twist. People who get angry at your boundaries are usually the ones who benefited from you having none. And like, that's not your problem to fix. Healthy people respect boundaries. They might not love them. They might not cheer, but they respect them. They adjust. They adapt. They don't make it a whole emotional circus. And well, those are the people you want in your life anyway. Another secret, boundaries don't need long explanations. You don't need to justify. You don't need to defend. You don't need to present a 47 slide PowerPoint with graphs and animations. A simple, I'm not available for that is enough. And like, that's all the clarity you need. Short sentences help. They keep things clean. They keep things sharp. They keep things from spiraling into a debate. The longer you talk, the more room you give someone to negotiate. And well, boundaries are not negotiations. Here's a trick. Practice saying no without adding a discount. People love adding discounts. No, but maybe later. No, but if you really need me. No, but I guess I can try. And like, that's not a no. That's a coupon. A real no is clean. It's simple. It's calm. It's steady. And well, it gets easier the more you use it. Another thing. Boundaries are not punishments. They're not revenge. They're not emotional weapons. They're instructions for how to treat you. They're guidelines for how you operate. And like, they're meant to protect your energy, not attack someone else's. People often wait until they're exhausted before setting boundaries. They wait until they're drained. They wait until they're resentful. They wait until they're one inconvenience away from throwing their phone into the ocean. And well, that's way too late. Set boundaries early. Set them when things are calm. Set them when you're not emotionally fried. It's easier. It's cleaner. It's less dramatic. And like, it helps everyone adjust without chaos. Here's something funny. When you start setting boundaries, you'll feel guilty. You'll feel selfish. You'll feel like you're doing something wrong. That's normal. That's conditioning. That's years of people pleasing, whispering in your ear. And well, guilt is not a sign you're wrong. It's a sign you're growing. Over time, guilt fades, confidence grows, peace shows up. And like, that's when you realize boundaries were never the problem. Lack of boundaries was. The real secret to boundaries that work is this. Say what you mean what you say, and follow through every time. Not sometimes, not when it's convenient, every time. And well, that's how people learn to take you seriously. You don't need to be harsh. You don't need to be cold. You don't need to be dramatic. You can be warm. You can be kind. You can be gentle and like still have strong boundaries. Kindness and boundaries are not opposites. They're teammates. They work together. They protect your relationships. They protect your time. They protect your sanity. And well, they make your life smoother. Here's the final twist. Boundaries don't push people away. They filter people. They reveal who respects you. They reveal who values you. They reveal who can handle a healthy relationship. And like, that's priceless. So set your boundaries, Keep them simple, keep them short, keep them steady, and, well, watch your life get a whole lot lighter.